Previously on The Created.
Did you think I'd forgotten about you? Lashana.
Lashana's eyes widen in shock. It knows her name.
Lashana!
The reception counter explodes into wooden shards as Lashana's entire body jumps in fear, immediately breaking her out of her paralysis, scurrying backwards up against the wall. Her eyes dart around to try and find the creature, but is instead taken back by what she is seeing. The front of the police station is gone. The town of Odier is gone. The ground, the clouds, the sky, everything is gone. Around her is nothing more than the black void of space dotted with stars. She finds herself sitting on a tiny platform of what was once the police station. Now just a chunk of rubble floating through space, with a couple other chunks gently floating ahead of her, while softly rotating. Lashana cannot believe her eyes right now as she stands to her feet.
There you are. No one escapes the Dalcor for long. It was just a matter of time.
Another galaxy cloud materializes and takes shape into a Titanic-sized hand, reaching out to Lashana and crushing one of the chunks of debris as a second hand begins to take shape.
There is nowhere left to run.
The second chunk is destroyed as large, mysterious chains are revealed. In a desperate act, Lashana heaves her Naginata onto her shoulder and prepares to launch it towards the demon like a javelin from the gods. Yeah. Why do you call me Charlotte? Who are you? The light walks towards Lashana. You know who I am. It kneels down beside Lashana. We're gonna need a history check from Lashana. DC is gonna be relatively easy, just 10 or more. She needs, and I'm giving her advantage on this, just so you know. I know she has the exhaustion points, and I'm giving her advantage on this one. There we go, with a 15. The light gets brighter and brighter until piercing through the demon's hands and blinding it, causing the surroundings to turn white before fading back to reality within the police station. Lashana, seemingly recognizing the voice now, and remembering, she embraces the light that now sits beside her, hugging it tightly. Lashana has a feeling of great loss wash over her, causing her to uncontrollably cry for reasons currently unknown. No matter how dark the world gets, you will always light my way. Roman, is that really you? Lashana's eyes adjust to the light, revealing the humanoid to be her late husband, Roman. He stands her up to her feet, smiling at her, irradiating peace, and moves forward to embrace her once more. Lashana begins to cry. I don't understand. It's all right, Charlotte. Just believe me when I say you are Kalashtar. Lashana's mind begins to clear. Her eyes feel open. Her body has a strange rushing sensation as she comes to terms with her new revelation. I will always watch over you, Charlotte. Charlotte is currently laying underneath the reception desk, her face damp with tears as she wipes it dry. She picks herself up off the ground, and her body is no longer as heavy or as achy as she once remembered. Oh my god. Oh, that feels so much better. As she stretches her back and her arms out, her body feeling just normal for once in a very long time. As her eyes readjust from the light of her deceased partner, I should say, Charlotte now just stands in the darkness of the police station with her eyes closed for what feels like 15 minutes, listening to the sounds of silence, feeling the muscles in her body relax, no longer tense. The room is so quiet she can just about make out the quiet snores of Victor and Aldo within the building. Charlotte's meditation is soon interrupted. Her eyes still closed, she senses the room around her is not as dark as it once was, like a light had gently turned on. She begins to open her eyes and sees a glowing light coming from the other side of the reception desk. Cautious, Charlotte reaches for her naginata, only to find that it is no longer beside her. I'm gonna have her do a reception check. She's gonna make sure, that all the messages left on the answer machine have been, dealt with. All the files have been properly organized. No, she wants an investigation check, not a reception check. Investigation. I mean, she's no longer got... She doesn't have exhaustion, so now she doesn't have disadvantage on all these rolls. With a nat 20! The DC, I was about to say it was just an easy 10 to give me an idea of what's going on. She got a nat 20. Okay, so I had initially thought that she doesn't have her naginata, so I would have her do an investigation check to have a look around, see what is maybe within the drawers of the reception desk or somewhere, as there's now like a little bit of light in the room coming from whatever is on the other side of the reception desk. She's able to see a little bit. And she's also able to obviously feel around with her hands to see if she can find something. So, because her naginata's not there, she's mainly looking for something to protect herself with. Now, with an 18 or like maybe an 18 or more, like because it's hard, you're in the dark as well. I was thinking that maybe she would find a nightstick. However, we haven't had a magical item yet, have we? And with that nat 20 of investigation and feeling around, perhaps in this police station, an item was confiscated. Now, I don't believe it can be anything big, like a massive warhammer or like a two-handed weapon, but it can be jewelry. I'm gonna say either like jewelry, not really body armor, or boots, maybe gloves. Maybe jewelry, gloves, and small weapons, I would say. I feel like I need to see how rare of a magical item it might be. I've kind of just done a crude thing off the top of my head. That uncommon has a 40% chance. Rare is a 30% chance, very rare is a 20% chance, and legendary is 10%. Now, ordinarily, if you're thinking of loot crates or whatever, probably legendary will be like a 1% chance, but, you know, we're not gonna be so stingy to ourselves. We're gonna have a good enough chance rather than a next to 0 chance of getting anything. So with that then, if we roll between, well, I don't think we can get a 0. If we roll between a 1 and 40, then we get an uncommon item. If I roll between 41 to 70, I get a rare item. If I roll between 71 to 90, I get very rare. And if I roll 91 to 100, I get legendary. Ooh, a very rare item. Now I have a big wad of cards here. Rather than just pulling from the top, let's roll a d20. We'll go from the top 20 cards. D20. What card are we pulling? We're pulling card number 15. 15. It is a book. A Tome of Clear Thought. That actually matches what's happened. Just by the name of it. As her mind is now cleared. And she happens to find a Tome of Clear Thought. Alright. And this tome. I have a feeling she's not really... I mean, would she know what it is? We might have to roll for it. Alright, we'll roll for it. Arcana. This is a very rare item. She's not a spellcaster in a sense like a wizard or a warlock. I can reveal now as we're about to come into it. Actually, you know what? I'll reveal it just a little bit later. But, yeah. I was going to reveal her class, but we're just about to get into that, so I'll reveal it later. Alright, does she know what this book is? I'm going to set the DC at 16. With an 18, she does! She knows what it is. It's dark, but she can still see it. So, feeling around, opening the drawers, trying to find something, like maybe... I would say maybe with a nat 20 she would find a little nightstick as well to use as a weapon, which is essentially just a club. So I will give her a club. So feeling around and round the desk and in the drawers, she finds a load of like documents. She can't really see it that well. Feeling under the desk where the chair is, she finds a nightstick, which is very sturdy, doesn't seem damaged or anything. She kind of gently hits her hand with it to see how sturdy it is, and thinks, yes, this is probably an adequate weapon to use. And as she goes to move around the reception desk, the light that's gently shimmering on the other side of the desk is slightly reflecting off of one of the books on a nearby bookshelf. And this book, it's only the binder or the spine of the book that is shining out with this silver sheen, as all the rest of the books just seem really dark. You might see maybe a little flash of like a dark red or like a dark brown leather-bound books. However, this one has more of a silver sheen to it. And it catches her eye, so she, naturally being curious, she reaches out for it and takes the book. Looking at it, at first it doesn't seem like anything that she would recognize or anything that she's kind of seen before, but the design on the front as she runs her hand through it and is able to see it a little bit better in this light now, the whole of the outside of the book has this silver shine to it. Around the edges are this intricate pattern that's bordering the front of the book and the back of the book, and also the outline of the spine. And on the front, it shows a lot of imagery that she knows it comes from the dream realm, the realm of dreams. Her Kalashtar memories that are slowly coming back are showing her, or somehow reminding her, that this is a tome of clear thought, a book which contains memory and logic exercises, and its words are charged with magic. And that if she was to spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, her intelligence score increases by 2, as does the maximum for that score. So it permanently increases by 2. The manual then loses its magic, but regains it in a century. Within 100 years, it will regain its magic. So either this item was confiscated, or someone within the police station was actually keeping it for themselves, hoping that, they might be able to read it on night shifts, maybe somehow sneak it out of the police station, take it home with them, who knows. But now Charlotte has the book. And we now need to find time to get her to read it. Over a period of 6 days, it seems like she's not going to be able to read it in this campaign. But I do plan on keeping these characters to, continue their journey. So that is very interesting. I will make note of that in her inventory. It's now stashing the book away in her bag. And holding the nightstick, she does think to herself where her naginata would be. She's pretty sure that she left it beside her by the reception desk. And then she begins to remember that she is a Kalashtar, which means that the dream realm is very real for someone like her. So it could be that her naginata is now either floating around in the dream realm, or it's certainly gone from the physical realm. She can't quite explain it or understand it herself fully yet, but she does have an understanding that as she threw her naginata at the giant face that she saw floating in space, that the naginata had traversed into another realm. I remember throwing it in my dream. But that's a dream. And then Kalashtars are from the dream realm. So I guess dreams are real, but not for everyone. Only for people like me? I need to talk to Victor about this. As she's talking to herself, she then hears distorted sounds of a crack. Naturally, the hairs on the back of her neck prick up, and she looks in the direction of where the light is coming from on the other side of the reception desk. She brings the club up beside her and begins to sneak around to the other side. After a night that she's had, she's now ready for any type of creature that may be coming for her this time. I'm going to get her to do a stealth check. I'm going to say a stealth check of 14 or more. Okay, that gives me an idea of what she's doing. We got a 12. So rather than walking around the counter, she's actually going to lean on top of the reception desk and try to peek over the top to see what is on the other side, and hoping that it won't see her. As she leans on the reception desk, the sounds of creaking wood can be heard. She tries very carefully to move herself forward, but each time she does, the desk creaks a bit more. She does manage to start peering over the edge, and as she does, her eyes widen. On the opposite side of the counter, close to where she rested, is an ethereal, ghostly-looking egg. But not like a chicken's egg. This one is much larger. I'm actually going to get her to do maybe a survival this time. An 11. Okay, it's about average. So for you guys at home, it's... how would I say this? Okay, if you were to put this egg beside a chair, just like an ordinary chair in the waiting room of this police station, or say with a dining table at home and you've got those wooden chairs, the egg will go to the base of that chair, and its width would fit between the legs. Now this egg is translucent, and it rests on the floor, highlighted only by gentle, light blue wisps of some kind of smoke. A ghostly crack forks towards the center with a gentle glow. I actually put a nature check, so we're actually doing quite a few checks here. So we need a nature check, and the DC is 19 on this one. Oof, with a 5. Okay. Looking at this ethereal, ghostly egg, she has no idea what creature could have laid such a thing. Certainly the first time seeing one, Charlotte, without thinking, reaches out to touch it. Only her hand goes straight through. The wisps of ethereal smoke waft around her hand before returning to its original shape. There is no noticeable smell, no feeling, nothing. A thin layer of smoke darts and forks across the egg with a distorted crack. Charlotte is in utter disbelief, but the egg is hatching. The colors of light blues and greens eerily shine through from the cracks, and the squeak of a newborn creature is heard as it pushes its way through. A piece of smoke drops to the ground and evaporates, followed by another and another. Each a slightly different shape until a blue and grey, scaly-looking nose pokes through. Its skin is transparent, with a very gentle glow outlining each of its scales and features. Smoke still covering its face and body as it continues to climb out. Charlotte is in awe, staring intently at it. The smoke around its head begins to fall. The ethereal smoke thins and gathers as this gently blue globe rolls and points towards Charlotte. It's an eye. Instinctively, Charlotte shields her eyes as the lights to the whole waiting area are suddenly turned on. Morning! Where is everyone? Ah! Aldo! Oh, sorry, did the others come back? No, no one has returned. What time is it? Huh. I would have thought the chief would be back by now. Where are the keys? At the very least, the mist must be gone, right? Ah, there they are. Charlotte, I'm going to get her to do insight. Just a simple one of Aldo's bumbling idiocy. So just 10 or more. I have 11. Just about. Charlotte can't help but think that opening the main doors might not be such a bright idea, especially when there are perfectly good windows. Aldo, I don't think you should open Aldo opens the main door as 4 carrionettes immediately latch onto his face and body, jabbing him with needles. Oh my god! Get them off me! Charlotte rushes to the door as Aldo stumbles and falls outside. A living doll stands on the outside windowsill looking at Charlotte.
Hi, do you want to play? Ow!
Charlotte, without thinking, punches the doll in the face and slams the door shut.
She punched me! The bitch punched me!
Ignore her, Sabrina. Let's go play without her at the toy shop.
Yeah, we don't need you anyway, you big meanie!
Do you know the way?
Sure, follow me!
What is going on around here? Victor! Victor! Charlotte, watching from the windows, sees the dolls scurry away into the mist. Aldo's body lays motionless on the ground. Victor? Victor! She turns around. There is no sound. Shit. She carefully looks out the window to see that the carrionettes are all gone. It is still midnight outside, and the mist has not subsided. If anything, it's claimed the town of Odier for its own. Neighboring properties can barely be seen as the mist gently wisps with the wind. Charlotte will attempt to sneak away and try to find Victor. I'm gonna do a stealth check just to see how good she's sneaking. Ooh, a dirty 20, so she's doing very well. Now seeing that there's danger around and, you know, that it's still nighttime even after sleeping what felt like many hours. Well, sleeping. I guess fighting a paralysis demon thing. And one thing that she does notice, now that the room is all lit up, is that the creature that she saw by the reception desk is no longer there. The second that light came on, the egg and the creature hatching out had vanished. Confused and on edge, quickly she scurries off into the police station to look for Victor. Now, she hasn't actually moved through the police station, so she wouldn't really have any idea as to the direction of where they would be or where to go. So what I will do... I think maybe if I do a history check, because they did mention to her where they would be staying. So she's actually going to try and remember what Victor had said. Or perhaps what she even said as well. I believe it was Victor who mentioned it. Her memory is returning. I will say that it's a DC 15 to try and remember. Boom, with a 19. After checking a few of the offices within the building, she remembers that they mentioned they were heading to the jail cells to sleep in. Thankfully, this building does contain a map attached to the wall, guiding her towards the jails, so it wasn't long before she found them. As she begins to get closer, there seems to be an unnerving atmosphere around her. The silence is soon disrupted by one of the jail doors banging violently, as if something is trying to get out. Muffled grunts can be heard coming from its direction. Victor? She creeps closer towards the door. Now, I kind of planned this to go differently, but I've only just remembered now that she didn't hear the other part of Victor's backstory, because the voices from beyond deafened her. So not hearing the next part of his story and only hearing that he agreed, that he confirmed that he was a vampire. Didn't hear anything else. The fact that he hates being a vampire, he hates who he is and what he is, and that, you know, he ended up just trying to kill himself, wandering off to a nearby town, making friends with a human. Going by what she had only heard, Charlotte, I'm now improvising here, this is going away from what I had planned. Charlotte will back away from the door because she does not trust the victor that is trying to break free. And after hearing those noises coming from the door, coming from within, in her mind it is clear that he has gone feral. He has lost control of his vampiric ways, and as such is trying to break free. So if she was to help him out and help him get out of the cell, she knows that she's probably done for. And wielding only a nightstick, she will back away, seeing the door shudder with each bang as a heavy force repeatedly slams against it. Maybe what came for me earlier came for Victor. Or perhaps Victor lost control. That vampiric hunger, I can't trust it. It's not him anymore. Whatever it is in there, it's not Victor anymore. I have to get out of here. I have to get out.